Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am creating this really pretty holiday glam like smoky look. So if you guys want to see how I created this, then make sure you just go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so today off camera I went ahead and prepped my skin with this Mario Badescu spray. This is just the aloe, like the lavender one. And then I moisturized with the Mario Badescu Cellufirm Moisturizer. These are both really good products, and I feel like they're good for putting under makeup because they are pretty lightweight and really just make your skin look plump and hydrated and ready for makeup. In my last video, I tested out the ColourPop foundation, and I really liked it, so I think I'm going to go back in with that today. But first, I am going to prep my skin with the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my finger and press that into my like T-zone area where I have bigger pores, just to try and smooth everything out. I really like this primer. Like I've said, and I'm pretty sure all my other videos, I've primed my skin with it over and over and over again, and I feel like it's the only primer that actually does what it says it's supposed to do and really smooths everything out. So, like I said, then I'm going to go in with this ColourPop foundation, and this is in the shade Medium 90. I still have the same shade from last video whenever it was a little bit too dark, but it's nothing too crazy. I mean, I can still make it work. So I'm going to get a little bit of that on my hand and just blend that all out with my Beauty Blender. So I'm going to go in with like the whole combination that I tried in my last video. So I'm going to go in with the ColourPop concealer. This is the No Filter concealer in the shade Light 10. And I'm going to put that under my eyes and also on my high points of my face. So once I've got that blended out, I think I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier powder just to set everything today. I am just going to dump some of that into the lid, and I'm going to pick some of that up on a sponge and put it underneath the eyes to bake, and then bake around my smile lines also. This is one of my favorite powders. Everybody likes this powder, but it's been a while since I've used it. I've really been liking that Patrick's powder that I put in a video a few weeks ago. And I also really like the Huda Beauty powder, but I just figured that I would switch it up and go back to one of my favorites today. So I'm just going to take the Morphe Y3 and pack that Laura Mercier powder on underneath the eyes. And then I'm going to take that same brush and put it across the rest of the face also. So for bronzer today, I'm going to go into this Morphe Highlight and Contour palette. This is the 8H. It's the Hi-Fi palette, so it just looks like this. I think I showed this in my last video, but I'm going to go ahead and pick up the shade Debutante, which is this shade right here, and Blogger, this shade right here, and mix those together on a Morphe Y5, and I am going to bronze up the face. So next I'm going to go into my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette that I was just talking about, and I'm going to mix together these two lighter shades right here on my Morphe Y9, and I'm going to pick that up and contour the face. So I really want to focus this under the cheekbones, and also I'm going to put a little bit on the nose. So next I'm going to take the pinkier shade right here and then the banana shade in the middle on my Morphe sponge, and I'm going to press that under the eyes just to kind of brighten everything up and give you a more like lifted forward look. I feel like doing this really does kind of bring forward your cheekbones. So I'm going to take that flat end of the sponge and just kind of press over that just so I don't have too much pigment from that, so it's not too crazy like contrast with my bronzer, but just leave enough to where you can still see that like highlighted brightened look underneath the eyes. And then for blush, I'm going to go in with this NARS palette and pick up this middle blush shade right here, which is the shade Orgasm. And I am going to pick that up on my Morphe Y4 brush. This is one of my favorite blushes. It's really pretty and it has like a slight shimmer to it. So it really just makes your face look kind of like glowy and dewy instead of matte. So I did have these two, I think they're called matchsticks from Fenty Beauty that I wanted to try. But I already forgot to try out the blush shade that I picked up. I've swatched it, but I haven't used it yet. This is in the shade Yacht Life. It's just kind of pink. It honestly is pretty similar to the blush shade that I have on right now. It's like a pink shade with gold shimmer in it. So I'm going to try and add that into the next video to give that a try. And then I have one for highlight in the shade Trippin', which is, it's like a peachy toned highlighter. So I'm just going to kind of put it on the back of my hand and warm it up, and then I'm going to pick it up on my finger and just kind of put it on. I feel like these would be good for like a no makeup day. If you're like not wearing foundation, you can put it directly onto your skin and like maybe blend it out with like a beauty blender or something. But I just don't want to put it directly on top of my foundation and like ruin all the work that I just put in. For highlight, I'm going to go in with the Jeffree Star Peach Goddess highlight. I am going to pick that up on my Morphe M510, which is just like a big highlighting brush. And I'm going to put that on the cheeks. I feel like this goes really well with that highlight that we just used from Fenty, because it's a little bit more peachy, and then this is a really peachy highlight shade. I think the Jeffree Star has some of the best highlighting formulas that I've ever used. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my brows off camera, and then I will be right back. Okay, so for eyes today, I finally picked up the Anastasia Norvina palette. This palette is so pretty. I love all the colors that are in here. So I really wanted to give this a try for today's look. I am wanting to do like a holiday glam kind of look since it is Christmas Eve. So this like dark red shade right here, and then like the darker gold right next to it, I feel like that would be really pretty. But I'm just going to go ahead and zoom you guys in a little bit closer and then move on to the eyes. I'm going to pick up the shade Base right here on the fluffy end of the brush that comes in the palette. And I'm just going to like brush that through the crease. So this color is basically like the same as my skin tone. So you're not really going to see it that much, but it's just going to add a little bit more blendability to the shadows that we put on top of it. So I'm going to run that almost all the way up to, actually I'm going to bring it all the way up to the brow bone. It's a little bit lighter than my skin tone, so it'll brighten everything up and then also add a little bit of blendability for the shadows. I am going to take this Morphe M518 and I am going to pick up the shade Incense right here. And I am going to run that through the crease. Anastasia has some of the best eyeshadow formulas that I've honestly ever used. I really like them. I've never even tried a palette from them that I didn't like. I think that Modern Renaissance is probably my favorite. I've never tried the Subculture palette because that had really bad reviews, but I think that that palette and then the Soft Glam palette are the only ones that I don't have by Anastasia, like out of the ones that have like this kind of like fuzzy packaging on it. And I do want to pick up the Soft Glam palette, but I just haven't yet. But the Subculture, I don't even think that they sell that in Ulta anymore because I haven't seen it in there and I haven't seen it in Sephora either. So they may have just like discontinued it. I saw somebody do a, like I buy my makeup from TJ Maxx haul or something like that. And TJ Maxx had a whole bunch of the Subculture palettes. So I don't know, maybe they discontinued it and sent all of the palettes to TJ Maxx. I'm not really sure. But I do think that all of the rest of their palettes have been like so good. Modern Renaissance, I was just like scrolling through the Ulta app the other day and I was just looking because I was trying to decide between the Norvina palette and the Soft Glam palette. And so I was just looking at all of the palettes. Modern Renaissance doesn't even have one like bad review. Every single review on the Modern Renaissance palette on Ulta has 5 stars on it. So that should tell you a lot about the quality of the Anastasia shadows. They're really good. This was probably like the most like standout like color scheme that I've ever seen from them. I really like purple tones, as you guys have seen on my channel. I think I've already done like 4 purple looks, maybe 3. but I really love purple eyeshadows, and so this like really like purpley like really pretty shade right here, I was like, okay, I need this. And then even just the packaging, seeing it, I was like, okay, this is so pretty. So I think that this was a really good buy. The shadows are, I mean, I've only used 2 shades so far, but the shadows are blending out really nicely. I definitely want to do a look where I use that bright purple shade that I just showed you. It's called Celestial. So I want to do a look using that, but it's not very Christmassy, so I'm not going to do that today. And then I'm going to pick up my Morphe Y16 and just kind of blend out those edges, make sure that I've got everything blended really nicely. So next I am going to dip into the shade Volatile right here, which is the darker brown shade. It's more like an ashy tone brown. And I'm going to pick that up on just an Eco Tools like pointed blending brush. And it's just a little bit more precise than what we've been using. And I'm going to pack that on right on the outer V. Okay, so now that I've got that on, I am going to pick up the Morphe M441, and it is a little bit dirty, but I'm going to pick up the shade Incense that we've been using and tap most of that off, and then I am just going to run that above that dark shade that we just added in, just to have some more depth and a little bit more blended of a look. So I'm going to take that same Eco Tools brush that I've been using and spray it with the It Cosmetics brush bath and just kind of take the shadow off of that. So like I said, I am going to do like more of like a holiday glam. So I'm going to pick up Passion right here, which is just the really dark red shade, and I am going to pack that on in the outer V. We've already got it really dark, but I do want to give it more of the like Christmassy vibe. So I want to give it a little bit more of a red, like warm, sultry look. So it's not even going to be too noticeable in comparison to the shades that we've been using, but it'll still give it a little bit more of that deeper red, like burgundy look. So now I'm going to go in and cut the crease. So I'm going to use the same concealer that we were using on the face earlier. And then I am going to pick up the shade Dazzling, which is right here. It's kind of a more like darker gold. It kind of has like a rosy tone to it, but not too much. So I'm going to pick that up and spray it down with my Morphe Prep and Set. And I'm going to put that on the inner third of my eye. So next I'm going to go in to Rose Gold, which is this shade right here. And same thing, pick it up on the same brush that we've been using and spray it down with the Morphe Prep and Set. So once I have got those shades on, I am now going to move on to the shade Drama, which is right here. It is just the darker red shade in the palette. It's also a shimmer shade. So I'm going to take a little bit more of that brush bath, spray that on, and then wipe off the shade that we had been using. And pick that up and spray that down with the Morphe Prep and Set also. So off camera I did go ahead and clean up the edges just to make sure that everything was nice and straight. So now I'm going to go in with my Morphe M431, which is just a pencil brush. And I am going to pick up the shade Passion that we've been using, that dark red shade. And I'm going to put that on the lower lash line. I'm going to really try to connect this like outer wing that we've got going on the top with the lower lash line, just to kind of make everything look put together and really pretty. For liner, I'm going to take my Kat Von D ink liner and just kind of line the lid. I'm not going to do a cat eye or anything today, just because I do have this shadow brought out pretty far. And I'm going really light with this eyeliner anyways. And then I'm going to go in with my IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara and just really coat the lashes with that. So I finished up my mascara off camera, and then I went ahead and applied this ColourPop black liner on the upper and lower lash line. For lips today, I think I'm going to go in with the Kylie Lip Kit in the shade Clove. It's just like a really deep kind of like burgundy color. So I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with the liner and then fill it in with the liquid lipstick. Okay guys, so this is the completed look. I really like the way that it turned out. This lipstick has been one of my favorites for this whole season, honestly. Ever since I got it, I've been wearing it constantly. So I really like the way that it looks. I feel like it really complements the eyes. Looking at this palette, this isn't really like the eyeshadow look that you would think somebody would normally go for. I feel like it's definitely more of like a bright, like pink, purpley toned look. But I just think for the holidays and today being Christmas Eve and stuff, I think this is a really pretty look that I created with it. So I'm going to definitely play more in this palette and definitely dip into the purple shade in here. But for now, I think that this is a really pretty look. I think it's a really good combination with the lip color, and I really like the way that it turned out. I hope you guys liked it too. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.